ES6 introduced JavaScript classes and laid the groundwork for a new object-oriented programming inheritance model to JavaScript. Those of you who have already studied computer science before might recall this concept of object-oriented programming. It models objects to real-world objects. This concept spans so many fundamental computer science principles such as encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction, and more. We've actually already explored the idea of encapsulation to protect private data in our earlier lectures on block scoping. In ES6, to achieve object-oriented programming, we use classes. Each of these classes will have some relevant data according to its state and behavior. So let's think of an example with some objects or classes that we can use in our ES6 code. And let's go with a theme that has appeared before in this course, Lord of the Rings. Now, all sorts of entities live in Middle-earth, so at the very base, I want an entity class. And let's say all entities have a name and height property. Also, each entity has a certain greet method called greeting, which by default just says, "Hi, I'm blank, I live in Middle-earth." So this class entity has three properties now: the name, height, and its own greet method. Note that this isn't valid JavaScript, just some pseudocode to get the idea across. Alright, now what if I want a second class? It's similar to entity, but more specific. We're going to have a Hobbit class. Hobbit will also have a name and a height, and its own unique greeting property too. But this is starting to look awfully similar to our entity class, so it'd be useful if we didn't have to write this entire Hobbit class from scratch, and we could just take advantage of the existing entity class. Luckily, object-oriented programming supports the idea of inheritance, and this means that one object or class can just extend upon another one to receive all of the original class's data. So, Hobbit will just extend upon entity and receive those parent properties. Inside our Hobbit class now, we'll overwrite the original greet function and set the Hobbit's greeting to something else. For example, "Hello, I'm blank from the Shire." Now, we could actually extend upon entity with any number of classes. After all, Middle-earth has rangers, elves, dwarves, wizards, and orcs, all entities respectively. So let's start writing some classes to start seeing these principles in action in ES6.